Welcome back, I'm the Watch Nerd. On this video, I'm very excited. We're going to go back for another hunt for steel. But right before I put you on the footage, I do want to keep reminding you of my Chanel chain giveaway. I'm going to be giving out this chain as soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you want to be entered, there's the 4 steps in the description.
So let's hop right into it. This is really cool because you're looking at Datejust, and I didn't notice it till a little bit later perusing around, and that's a Wimbolton there. So that's a 36 Wimbolton two-toned on. I prefer this combination, the Jubilee with the fluted bezel. Now, this one is gold. So it comes on, I believe, I don't think there's an option between smooth and fluted. I'm not 100%. I think it only comes in fluted, but I could be wrong. Anyway, it is still just fantastic, and I always do prefer it. The full stainless steel version I do prefer. A little bit better. Well, first of all, it is a better price point. Uh, but at the same time, you're not getting the two-tone look. It all depends on what you are, and that is the 36. There was a 41 that was in this official dealer too. It wasn't steel, it was two-toned, the same as yellow gold in my previous video. Coming up to here, this is a 41. This is the only 41 at this official dealer. As you can see, it is two-toned with the smooth bezel, so that just answers us that there is a smooth bezel on gold now. Uh, a little bit of history really quickly. I know for a fact that they only use smooth bezels for a very long time because that's how Rolex would actually waterproof the case. So if you look back on really old vintage stuff, we're talking the 1950s, everything that was gold, it doesn't matter, or stainless, it will be smooth so they can test the water resistance. And that's why you have the screw down case back. I prefer smooth only in stainless steel nowadays, but I would love to know yours in the comments below. Taking us a little bit out here, we do have a factory diamond 36 millimeter over there. Of course, two-toned. Most of these are two-toned, and if that is still the 41 up there. So I actually took a video just so you can see how empty all of these are. I have showed you this before, but we're going to go around the store really quickly. There is the only sports model, and we'll get to that in just a little bit, but that is a Yacht Master in 37, and I will explain what my philosophies are about that one. But going us around, and then that's it. So that's all the cases. There was a precious metal case, but that's a separate deal. Here is some the steel pieces, stainless, and as you can see, they all are factory diamonds. There is no stainless steel pieces now at the store. Well, the week I came, that were not factory. So all these are factory diamond. So actually, coming to the Cellinis, you'll see that there's one missing. They did sell, I believe, a couple, but that moon phase in that picture, they did discontinue. I believe the official dealer said that, and I was pretty surprised. I thought none of them got discontinued, but I'm 99% sure that the Cellini moon phase did get discontinued. So an update there. I will double check, but in the new booklet, I did not see the Cellini 2000. Well, this one. I don't know exactly how long it ran for. It has a meteorite for the moon. I should make a video on it in the future, a little bit learn because this is the one area where I'm not 100% about every model in the Cellini line. So this is the gold pieces here. As you can see, very little selection. There was one other gold piece I'll show you. It was a woman's Datejust with all factory. So it looks like all ice, but it is a factory, so it's very nice. Everything at an official dealer is factory. But as you can see, there are 2 factory leathers, and that is a beautiful. I did not get a closer shot, but that is a very beautiful pearl. Actually, it's a dark one, and it is just really, really cool. Nowadays, you can't get any of these. When they come in, you can buy them, but Rolex doesn't order. I talked to multiple official dealers about it, and you cannot get a specialty order from Rolex now. In the last, I believe, year or so during this, whole quarantine and everything with that. So there it is. This is a butterfly. Very interesting piece. All factory, a lot of diamonds on there. I bet they charged a fortune for it. But this is the one watch only a woman can really have. There are other pieces. Of course, presidential bracelets are only on 36 and 40 now, day dates. And the woman is the only, women, I should say, are the only one that could wear a watch like this. I guess a guy could wear it, but I've never seen a guy wear a woman's watch. And I will be honest with you, I have very few guys wear the 36s, and I talked to the official dealer about it, and we'll get into that. But it's really the size. I love 36. Have you seen my videos? I absolutely adore Datejust, but not modern ones, and I'll tell you why. I just think that the 41 is I was talking to them about it, and yes, I'm not going to say a man can't wear a 36 because I think 36 are, great watches. Also, but I prefer a vintage 36 and a modern 41. I personally own a 41 in the Oyster Perpetual range, and they were telling me they haven't sold a man a 36 millimeter Datejust. I think for 10 years. One of the official dealers told me. Uh, and that's just to me absolutely insane because I see men all the time wearing it, but it's always vintage, it's never modern. So this is, I think, a little more interesting than you might think on the surface. It is a Yachtmaster 37, and platinum bezel, rhodium, of course, dial. I believe, yeah, rhodium. That's what they call it. And very cool, blue secondhand Yachtmaster, of course, originally came out in full gold in '93. Then you see the steel version come out in the early 2000s with Charlie Sheen wearing it. I believe it actually came out a little earlier than that. I could be wrong. But in Two and a Half Men, Charlie Sheen, pretty much one of the most famous iterations for many years, he wore it on there. But a little bit of history there, but more importantly, what is this watch and why do I think it is important? Personally, I don't think a man should buy this watch, and I will tell you why. It is 37 millimeters, and I personally own a 37 millimeter watch, but this watch tapers. The bracelet, I've never seen taper so fast. If you look at the end links, you just see how much the taper is, and then it gets worse on the other side. So I don't recommend any men getting this watch. It's nothing got to do with the case itself. It's mostly got to do with that bracelet. So that's just my recommendation. And so we covered that men shouldn't buy it, but what about a 37 millimeter for a woman? And I believe that's what they marketed for. That's why they built it like the with the taper. And I think it's so interesting because the Submariner is 41 millimeters. That's it. You cannot buy a woman's Submariner. And the AD was telling me, once we brought it up, uh, some people that don't know um, a lot about Rolex, I should say, come in and they ask women, the guy buys a Submariner or something, and he says, "Can I have one for my wife?" Some women come in, they say, "I don't want that big of a Submariner." This is when Submariners were actually at retailers, but they would say, can I get the smaller version? And there just wasn't one. So Rolex, I think they put it in Yachtmaster. I think there's a 35 too, or they discontinued it. But the 37 is just a watch. There is no other 37 millimeter to my knowledge, right off the bat, and it's for the woman who wants a sport model. I think this is the only one really that sits at retailers, and it's not for long. It will sit there, but it is just a very. That's why I think it's interesting. Of course, the regular Yachtmaster I think is at 12,000 now, so it's not cheap to buy a Yachtmaster, and the woman one, of course, is a little more affordable, but still, it's expensive because it is the Yachtmaster line, and the Yachtmaster line, of course, was supposed to be a replacement for the Submariner, but that's for another video. Now, jumping right into this, is another official dealer. This is the one, of course, I've talked very poorly in my last video. I still go in, even though they told me to get out because I got a stainless steel piece without paying for another piece. And that, if you want to look further into that, I'm not going to go over that all in this next hunt for steel, but you can visit my previous video. Now, this particular piece is a solid gold day date 40 with the pearl dial and the diamonds. I don't get it. Not my particular taste. And the rose gold is beautiful. I'm just not a huge fan of the pearls with the diamonds in this size. I don't see so many men buying it. Uh, and I don't know. It's just not my particular taste. Let's continue on here. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. This is a Datejust factory diamonds because it is the anniversary dial, which they only do in factory diamonds. The other one, it does look like 36, but they are both women. The 31s, yes, they are the 31s here, and it's not something that they sell so quickly, but they have a lot less of the watches than the previous place because this place does tell you to buy a watch before getting on a list for the watch you want because this official dealer doesn't follow a list. Um, but yeah, so that's why they have a very a little selection, and I believe they get less watches. Look, nobody knows, but it is a smaller official dealer, and I don't know if, how Rolex gives them out. Here's the last case here. That is a two-toned that you're looking at with that dial. I believe that's a 41, if I'm not. Yes, that is either 36 or 41. And then there's factory diamonds here. We do have one more piece, you'll see, actually. But there's not, as you can see, there's very little here. Everything pretty much factory diamonds. There are some that are not, but if they are not, there are two-toned. And so it's nothing that is hot at all. I should say these are probably the ones that keep the least value. There's 141 in there. It kind of doesn't look like it. The bracelet looks kind of weird in this picture. But that is factory diamonds. And next to this small tiny woman's 31 with the diamonds. But that it concludes the video. I would love to know all your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. And what do you think about the Yachtmaster in 37 or any of the watches you saw today? I would love to know. And is there any watch of your grails? I would also love to hear it down in the comments below. If you do want the Chanel chain giveaway, there's the 4 steps. And I will definitely catch you in the next one. Have a fantastic day.